Over the past few years, we've noticed a dispossession of the ownership of seed from native Africans and farmers towards corporates. We find that a lot of corporates are now interested in owning seed, patenting seed, and dispossessing farmers of this seed.
The multinationals have actually been pushing this agenda, and every African country is basically facing the same challenges. The multinationals taking over the seed industries.
Government is more on the side of the people that are growing hybrid seeds. They are being protected as compared to us. What we are realizing is, eventually, they want all of us to do away with the indigenous seed and concentrate on the hybrid.
Over the past few years, we've noticed African governments changing their laws in order to give plant variety protection rights to breeders, and in this case breeders are classified as companies, not as farmers. By changing the plant variety protection laws and protecting corporate companies instead of farmers, we find that farmers will lose their right to own seed, they will lose their right to exchange seed, and they will lose their right to indigenous seeds.
Internationally, there are countries in which farmers have been criminalized for just distributing their own seed.
African governments have been, influenced into believing that hybrid seeds actually increase productivity and feed the growing populations. Unfortunately for our research institutions, government has not been able to give them enough resources to carry out their own research and development in the seed sector. The multinationals have seen that opportunity and funding a lot of the research that is being done under these public institutions. And so you find even their output really is not what is good for the public.
If you go to any village, even the most remote village in Kenya, you'll find an agrovet.
Because they want to make money, they want to breed, and then they will force us to continue buying their seeds.
The industrial food system is very much centered around producing one crop on large tracts of land. Producing one particular crop also comes with its own problems, because you have to use chemicals, you have to use machines, you have to use a whole lot of things. So it's huge investments, and those investments have to get their money back.
Seed is crucial for all of us. Seed is one of the most contested political arenas in our days, and only 3 to 4 companies, they're controlling almost 70% of all the commercial seeds available worldwide. So this gives them a massive power.
So you push the farmers out of the system so that you own the seed sector, so that you own the food sector, and so that you own the entire agricultural system. Only about 30% of the food that is eaten around the world is from the industrial food system. Almost all the food that we eat is still planted by smallholder farmers, who, by the way, plant on less than 4 or 5 acres.
So indigenous seed is seed that has been bred, adapted, selected by farmers within that geographical location for millennia of years, and is indigenous to that specific geographical location.
Our interest is to revamp the old seeds which are almost put into extinct to come back to life. This is already planted. We have planted 3 types of crops in here. There are a number of reasons why we feel we should go back to indigenous seeds. It needs no breeding. We don't have to go to buy all the time. The nature breeds it. So all we do is just select the good ones. Then we go on planting.
Indigenous seed is better because it adapts to different climatic conditions. We never used to starve in those days. There was no shortage of food because we concentrated on growing the indigenous seed.
We respect the fact that farmers' seeds are the way to go. Smallholder farmers are using systems that are sustainable. They are using systems that are within context. They are cheap and everybody understands them. They really base on smallholder knowledge.
We want government to come up with deliberate policies that are going to support indigenous seed Once that is done, there will be food security in the country.
We have seen a growing narrative and discourse around farmer-managed seed systems being seen as inferior and not ideal to feed a growing population. This is not true. The problem across the world now is not a problem of not enough food, but a problem of access to food. People across the globe have a right to their sovereignty. This applies to seed sovereignty, this applies to food sovereignty. They have a right to choose what they want to grow, what they want to eat, and whether it is culturally appropriate. No corporation or government should take away this right.